We can shut it down in the bush. We can short circuit this whole thing. They keep sending people in there who are, a lot of them are uneducated. Not all of them are uneducated, but a lot of them are uneducated. And they're a very simple enemy, very simple target. But their bushcraft is good. Their determination is extremely high. So as we were saying, that small core, well-trained men, well-equipped, disciplined guys who are proud of who they are. They have an identity. They want to do the job. They're proud of it. They really want to do the job. That's a formidable group of men in any country. Yeah. And that's exactly what we need. And the pedigree is here. The men are here. A few years ago I trained probably about 200 game rangers. And 90 of those went to advanced course level. But all the other things surrounding our issues, that just regressed. But the pedigree's here. So what we need to do is just fire that up, just as you guys are doing, and because you can pay them, you can give them the clothing they need, you can give them, don't spoil them, give them what they need for the job, and they'll get the job done, and with some good leadership. Yeah. It's no doubt. Well, there's two feelings. One is the enormous resistance to that, which I struggle with, because the resistance to bringing rhino here, to me, is based on heaps of ignorance, and by that I mean you can have rhino anywhere in this country, and they're just about as vulnerable wherever you have them. We have a little ranch at Marandera, Imewi Ranch. It's a privately owned ranch. They had a group of rhino, little project going. These guys came up and shot them in the pens. So where are they really safe? So we make them safe. That's the issue. They're not safe anywhere. We've got to make them safe. And the sooner so my argument against those types are people who, a lot of them have not really been at the coal front. At the sharp end of looking after these creatures. Lots of talk about how to do it, but they don't put a pair of boots on and get a pack on their back and go and show us how to do it. And that's the difference. There's too much armchair experts on anti-poaching. And lots of these armchair experts have little NGOs running and their egos are sky high, but they're not getting the job done on the ground. And it's those types who are absolutely resistant to getting rhino back into the Zambezi Valley. And my personal opinion is we should look past all those people and get rhino back into the Zambezi Valley. We have somebody now who has a passion to do that and the means to do that. There's absolutely no reason why that cannot happen or should not happen, and that they should not be properly survive in this environment back in the Zambezi Valley. Absolutely no reason. None whatsoever. Just as hard as we work to keep them going elsewhere in the country, we have to do the same here. No different. Yeah? And there's not, let me tell you something, there's not thousands and thousands of rhino poachers. It's very difficult for a man to get a rhino horn and sell it, unless he's in some kind of organized syndicate or somebody he's really connected to. So they're not all waiting in line to come bombing into the park and kill rhino. Not at all. Not at all. And the little description I gave you just now of a good tracking unit, anti-poaching unit of men, they got a serious problem on their hands, and they know it. And they're feeling it all the time now. And we get the feedback. They don't want to come near us. They don't want to come near us. We got You can enter that area from any direction you like. There's nothing to stop them coming in. Nothing, absolutely nothing. But they don't want to, because they're getting hammered, and they're frightened to come in there. And that's how it should be. Yeah.
How important?
So, from an emotional point of view, I can't wait for the day. I really can't wait. It'll be a momentous day, and a day of history for the rhino to come back into the Zambezi Valley. It will just make world headlines. Yeah. And it should make world headlines. You know, 45 years or 42 years in Kariba alone, and working in this environment with rhino and around rhino and watching them from my veranda in the wild. And the amount of encounters that I've had with those creatures, and I just love them to bits. I think they're absolutely unique. They are gladiators of the bush. They are absolutely beautiful things. The rhino to the people, the people of our nation don't really appreciate the value of the rhino. Yes, some of them understand, some of them do, and of course, I'm not talking about the leadership of parks or people involved in looking after these things. I'm talking about the general public, the nation. Having done a lot of school kid education, I know for a fact that the young people are ignorant of the value. Though at school they'll be told, you know, this, that, and the next thing, but the heart adoption of a creature like that is not really felt, and it's not put out there in the context that this creature is extremely valuable. In that, remove it, and you have actually no work to. Your father has no work to go back to. He has no salary to bring home to feed you and your mom and your siblings. And that's actually a true fact. And as you grow that into ecotourism, it's nationwide. It's an incredibly valuable asset to the nation. Huge asset. And the same with the other species in the country. They are assets, massive assets. And correctly managed and worked around, yeah, I mean, we've got to realize the value of the assets that we have. And then take on the responsibility of the custodianship. We're stewards of our environment. Yeah? And the young people need to learn that, and then be given the chance to get into the industry and feel the value. You know, since we've been able to persuade some of our game rangers who are illiterate, why are you here? Not just for the money. That becomes a bit of a jargon. It becomes a bit of a cliche. I'm not here for the money, I'm here for the rhino. Not so. Not so. You're here to make a living. The passion will come just now. But to kick off with, you're here to make some money. Let's remove the rhino. We've got over 400 people employed on Zambezi Valley. Let's remove the rhino from here. 400 people go home hungry. And the penny begins to drop. How valuable these creatures are to them. And if we slaughter them, that's it. The value's gone. And they don't realize it. They honestly don't realize it. No. That's my opinion. Those that are alive, that were removed from here and still alive, definitely, I have no doubt